Whatever you can do today is fine.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Let's get started in Hadassah, mountain pose. So we're just going to actually get started. Yeah, standing. Come to the top of your mat. And once you're standing at the top of your mat, take a few shrugs of your shoulders. So your arms can stay down along your sides. Your hands can be like heavy if you need to like take a few shakes. Sometimes it's actually like a nice thing to shake things out. Maybe shake out the hands, shake out the wrists, shrug your shoulders as you breathe in. And take a deep breath out to notice that tension release as you exhale. Maybe do that a few more times. Breathe in, create a little more tension. And then breathe out, that conscious effort to soften it as you exhale. Yeah, do that. Breathe in and out. I want you to do that one more time. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then this time, start to broaden across your collarbone. So think about your shoulder blades drawing together, your shoulder heads drawing back slightly. Try not to just like round your upper back, right? Or let your lower back sway. Keep the core slightly engaged. And then take your shoulders down. Flip your palms forward. So keep that broadness across the chest. And when we flip our palms forward, you might even start to feel that opens the chest a little more. Can the chin lift just a little more? Keep looking straight ahead though. Take a deep breath in. Soften something as you exhale. Hopefully it's your face, your jaw. If you're clenching there, let it go. Awesome. So every time you find this standing position throughout your day, right? Because we spend a lot of time on our feet, maybe you have this sort of awareness of the chest opening. Maybe the palms can even draw forward to allow that to happen. And of course, you don't have to like walk around like this. If you would choose to, of course you can. But just come back to this idea of what it feels like for the chest to feel open, for that posture shift to exist. And then eventually it becomes like muscle memory. This is how you stand fully in Tadasana. Take a breath in. Maybe even open up your mouth, letting out a sigh. Do that one more time. Full inhale. Full exhale. So nice. And then when you're on your next inhale, you'll reach your arms all the way up or soften through the elbows if you need to. So to your degree, you reach the fingertips up, maybe even look up. And then a slow exhale out to soften through your knees. Bring your hands through your heart. And then just fold forward. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Take a moment here to sway the arms. So like imagine you had weight in the hands. Let them sway side to side. They're heavy. Let the head drop. Maybe shake it. Yes. No. Just taking a moment to let gravity do some work. If your hamstrings feel super tight here, bend your knees more. So give yourself grace. Sway side to side. So nice. And take a halfway lift here. Bring your hands to your shins or to your thighs and reach your chest forward. Maybe even look forward. And then bring your hands down. Take a big step back with the left foot and drop the left knee down. You're start to reach your hands up overhead to your degree, of course. And then right hand to your left wrist, lean over to the right. Just tip over so you get that nice side body length. And then rise back up. Bring right knee to meet the left. Bring your hands to your heart center. I want you to take a breath in to lift your chest or your sternum towards your thumbs. And then as you exhale, engage the belly, reach your hands straight forward, palms face one another. And then you can just tip that structure back. So I don't want you to sit back. I want you to think about a long line from your knees to the crown of your head, and then just tip that back. Like you were like tipping on an angle here to engage the quads, engage the belly. And then rise back up, hands come back to your heart, and then bring your hands down to the ground, tabletop pose. Take a breath in to lift your heart up, find cow pose, lift your tailbone as well. And then exhale, round your upper back, drop your head, cat pose. Do one more like that. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhaling to round. Come back to neutral. Now you can stay in tabletop position. We're going to take 3 rounds of breath. If you can stay in tabletop position here, if you want to amp it up a little more, you can tuck your toes. If you want, you can start to float the knees just a few inches off the ground. That might be where you stay. It's almost like your pseudo plank. It's a lot of work. If you want a little bit more, start to lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So they're all 3 options here. You're just going to take 3 big breaths wherever you are. Big breath in. Long exhale out. Don't miss it. Last 2. Last 1, and then we'll all meet back in tabletop pose. Take your knees a little bit wider. Your big toes can come together. Hips back towards your heels. Rest in child's pose. Maybe your hands come underneath your forehead, stacking one on top of the other rather than reaching your hands forward. If you need to, if that's too much, maybe even coming onto your forearms and then just letting your head hang here. We'll stay just for 3. Find your breath. Maybe for the first time all day, 2. In and out, last 1. And we'll slowly come back up to that tabletop pose. Now walk your hands up your legs. You'll rise back up like you did before. This time, hook your thumbs together and maybe lift that structure over your head. And find a little tug on the thumbs. Think elbows drawing wide. Maybe even lift your chest up so you can open up. Maybe even lift the chin, look up. So nice. And then come back to neutral. Step your right foot forward. So same foot as before, right foot forward again. Drop your hands down to frame your foot. And then maybe you start to pull your hips back and pick your right toes up. So you find just a half split here. Take a breath in to stay. Big breath out. That right knee can, of course, be soft. You'll bend back into it as you rock back forward to the lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Step your left foot up to meet the right at the top of your mat. Halfway lift, big inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Now slowly start to rise all the way up to standing. Once you're there, shrug your shoulders again towards your ears, create that tension, notice it, and then exhale to release it. Find your posture again, create that muscle memory, palms forward. Your back feeling a little bit stronger, your heart feeling a little bit softer, more open. Take a full inhale. Open your mouth, maybe a sigh out. One more like that. Inhale through your nose, expand through the chest. Open your mouth, clear it all out. And reach your arms up. When you're ready, breathe into your degree. Soften your knees, hands to your heart, fold forward. Take a halfway lift again, hands to your shins, look forward. And bring your hands down, this time big step back with the right foot. You'll drop the right knee down, rising up with both arms. And this time it's left hand to your right wrist, lean over to the left. Great, more length through that right side. Rising up as you inhale. Left knee comes to meet the right, hands to your heart. Again, you'll lift your heart towards your thumbs, breathe. Keep that long line, reach your hands forward, tip back. So you're creating that engagement in the legs, strength in the belly. Think about lifting up through the crown of your head, get longer. Awesome, and then hands back to your heart center, bring them down to the ground, tabletop pose. 2 rounds of cat-cow, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, round your upper back. Drop your head. 1 more like that, inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to round. Back to neutral. Now, a few other options here based on the feedback that you received from your body the first time around. You can choose what you need to take. So you can, if you want, tuck your toes, float your knees for that little bit of load or a lot of load. You can send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Or if you want something different here, take your hands a little bit slightly forward and start to tip forward into sort of like a plank, but on your knees. So it's that same idea, you're adding a little bit of load. If that feels like too much, come back to tabletop pose. So lots of different options. The buffet of options is here. Take what you need because we're all different. Pause and breathe for 3. In and out through your nose, 2. Last 1. Awesome, and then drop back to tabletop pose. If you're lifted, take your knees nice and wide, big toes together, hips back, child's pose. So you can, again, curl in, maybe on your forearms, dropping your head. If you want your forehead on the ground, maybe stack the hands and let it rest right on top. Letting this be a place of rest, feeling safe. 3 big breaths to ground down. Remembering that rest is just as important as movement. Take a full breath in. Slow exhale out. And then rising up, coming back to tabletop pose. Walk your hands up your thighs. Rise up onto your knees. Hook your thumbs. Take elbows nice and wide like you're creating the letter O. Lift that structure up. Maybe even lift your heart. You might even look up, lifting the chin. And then come back to neutral. Step your left foot forward. This time, reach hands high. And then bring them down to frame your foot. You can pull your hips back, pick your left toes up, finding that half split, just 1 on each side. Full inhale to stay. Full exhale out. Awesome. And then rock back forward, tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Heel toe your feet nice and wide. Bend your knees nice and generously. Shake your head, yes. No. Keep your feet planted, knees nice and bent, and slowly roll all the way up to standing. Awesome. And then take your hands forward again. Find that sense of strong posture, right? Strong in the back, soft in the front. Full breath in. Open your mouth. And bring your hands to your heart. A little play with balance. Shift your weight into your left foot and find tree pose, Vrikshasana. Right foot can come to your inner calf, maybe your ankle or maybe above your knee to your inner thigh, but whatever you choose. Find one steady point in front of you. Soften your gaze to lessen your distraction. And then wherever you want your hands to go, like I want you to find something that allows you to feel grounded. So if lifting your hands up instantly is like, oh my goodness, where am I going? I want you to come back. Maybe it's keeping your hands at your heart and knowing that that is not the lesser option, but more productive when we need to feel grounded. Take one more round of breath just to play with that. And you'll release. Take a moment on 2 feet, maybe roll the shoulders. Again, shake out the wrists, maybe even roll the ankles. That might feel good after that work. And then come back to neutral. Shift your weight to the right foot. Find tree pose on the other side, whatever it looks like. Steady your gaze. And then find what you need, knowing it's not better or worse, or it shouldn't look as it does. Maybe it should be something else. Let that sort of notion go. Find your grounding. Full breath in, breath out. Bring your left foot back down. Take what you need, maybe even shake things out side to side, maybe letting your arms follow as you start to twist. Sometimes just doing this gets things moving around enough where it feels good. It may feel silly, but that's okay. Come back to neutral. Awesome. One more standing posture. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath in, stand up tall. Bend your knees, sit back into chair pose. Keep lifting the heart towards your thumbs. Keep shoulders away from your ears if you can. Take one more inhale with that strength in the legs. And then exhale to fold forward, drop the head. Inhale the halfway lift. And then exhale, bring your hands down. You can step back and just drop your knees down to tabletop pose. Nothing too fancy. Just get yourself closer towards the ground. One round of cat-cow. It's your last one. Enjoy it. Breathe in. Lift the heart. Breathe out, round. And you'll slowly come to a seat. So bring your legs around in front of you. Give them a little bit of a shake. And take the soles of your feet together, knees nice and wide. Grab your shins or your ankles. Sit up nice and tall as you breathe in. And then exhale. Think about hinging at the hips here. And then drop maybe chin towards your chest or look down towards your toes. Softening something here. Breathing into sensation for 3. Last 2. Last 1. And you'll rise up. Now, if you have a yoga block nearby, go ahead and grab it. If not, no big deal. And you'll take it behind you. Maybe you start to place it right where your heart will land, the back of your heart will land. And you'll start to take your legs long, but lie back onto that block. And it should land, the lower part of it should land right at the bottom of your shoulder blades for reference. And we're all different, of course. So take what you need, take a moment to set it up. And then allow your head to fall back. So this is just one more heart opener here. You can also do this with a pillow. So if you do not have a yoga block or the yoga block feels too hard of a surface to rest on, You can take what you need, but like you did before, flip the palms up. Legs can stay long, or if it felt good to keep the soles of your feet together, knees wide for some external rotation in the hips, take that. Back of your head heavy on the ground, supported. Take a breath in. Open your mouth. And a few more like that as you need it. Maybe even close the eyes. Allow yourself to settle in for just a few more breaths. And you can choose to stay here. If you're super comfy, of course, stay. But we have one more asana to take, or one more pose to take. So gently just roll off to the side. You can move that block, place it off to the side. Now bend your knees and plant your feet. And lift your seat up. I want you to take that block or pillow, whatever you have, and slide it underneath your low back to the point where you feel like, okay, that's nice and snug, it's firm, it's supportive. Then you can lift your legs up towards the sky. So just a supported inversion where we get our hips just a little bit higher than our heart. You can also do this up against the wall. And if that block feels like too much and you'd like to just bring your low back to the ground and lift your legs up, that works as well, right? If you want that gentle inversion, your hips are lifted, maybe even soften the toes, roll out the ankles. Keep that opening across the collarbones, letting the palms flip up. That feels okay. Staying here, softening the knees if you need to. We're here, 4, 5. Soften the jaw. 4. Notice how your nervous system responds and slows down. 3. Bend the knees even more if you need to. Let the feet just hang heavy. Last 2. Last 1. And you'll slowly let your feet return to the ground. Take a moment to pause. And lift your hips up, move that block up to the side. Maybe even rock your knees gently side to side. And let your legs go long. Take this moment to intentionally rest. Close your eyes. Allow the toes to soften, the belly to soften. Shoulders. And tips of your fingers, even your neck, your jaw. A big breath in. big breath out. Learn the power of respect. Do more than trust the process, the journey you're on. Become so awestruck by it that you respect it too. Respect your feelings and the timely manner in which they surface, heal, and lead you into new discoveries. Respect your experiences, the places you've been, the scenarios you've been through. Respect the way you've gained gold and jewels, the treasures of the soul from each one. Respect the darker moments, the more difficult times when you're uncertain and don't know what to do next. Respect the timing as your life and journey unfolds. Don't murmur about why such and such has to be the way it is. Don't limit how your growth can happen. Learn to respect the path of others, of course. But most importantly, learn to respect your own. Allow your body to stay nice and rested. Just bring some awareness back to the quality or the cadence of your breath as it rises and falls. And then slowly start to wake your body up. So just subtle movements in the fingers, in the toes, and even rock your head gently side to side. And in your own time, you can bend your knees. Roll to the side of your choice. And with your eyes heavy or closed, if you can, just rise up to a seat. Once you're there, maybe hands come together in front of your heart. And you can bow your chin towards that space if you wish, and take a full breath in right here. Full breath out. Maybe even lift your thumbs to the center of your forehead. Then maybe even lift your chin, lift your face. Letting this time on your mat be your pause, where you can return to yourself, return to your